Welcome to GCCars. My name is Eric and this is the all-new 2022 Kia Carnival SX. Starting at $48,595 Canadian before delivery, this SX represents the top trim level in the Carnival lineup. And it comes with a bunch of extra features such as the dual sunroofs, pure leather seating, and the pretty good Bose audio system. But without a doubt, the standout feature are the lounge seats. They are just amazing. I even have a footrest. I love this. And they're heated and cooled too, and have plenty of space here in the second row. Kids these days are spoiled. But one more useful feature is the passenger view. So if you have a problem child, you can monitor them from the screen up front. And if they hit each other, you can just yell at them and not drive to McDonald's. Pretty useful. But I want to take a look at the exterior, so let's go back outside. Okay, now on the outside, let's first of all close the doors nice and electronically. And a bit of background, this used to be the Kia Sedona, and for the 2022 model year, they kind of renamed it, rebranded it along with kind of the international name this has, and it's now the Kia Carnival. One thing is why they rebranded it is because for some reason people don't like what it is. It's a am I allowed to say the M word? Minivan. It's a minivan. I know, but it is a minivan, has a sliding door. And some people don't like minivans because it's uncool, but it is super useful. Anyhow, so they rebranded it, and how do you make a minivan sell well? You make it look like an SUV, and that's precisely what they did. If we go up front here, you will see that it doesn't really look as timid as minivans normally do. It's a lot bolder, it's a lot more aggressive, and it looks really good. Yes, of course, you can still tell in general that it is a minivan, but I think it looks really good. The color's called Storm Blue. That's kind of the launch color it was in, and I love the grille. You know, it's kind of like this indented, and we got all these little spots or like these metal pieces on it. It just looks very well designed. There are a lot of little details hidden in the design of this Kia Carnival. And of course, we also got the new Kia logo, because once you turn your brand around and make it really popular, the last step is to rebrand a little, so that all the past associations are kind of gone and you only have the good ones. So there you go, Kia. You finished, you turned your brand around. It's really cool now. Anyhow, I really like how it looks, front, side. The back, I mean, it's kind of very, very regular, I guess. But we got the new trend with the taillights going all across, which I really like, to be honest. I like that trend. But we're going to take a look at that in a bit. I do want to take a look at the front because as a buyer, that's where you will spend most of your time. So let's go inside. Getting in, obviously, nice and easy. And as soon as we are on the inside here, let's turn down the AC a little. It is really nice. It is very nice. We got, first of all, nice colors. We got the white and the black, which has a nice little contrast to it. And there's very good designs throughout. So we got this metal here, which you also saw on the outside on the C-pillars, which is this kind of diamond pattern, which throws some nice reflections and really makes it look a little more upscale. Materials are nice and plush throughout. There are some plastics, of course, but it's still pretty nice after all. Seats, very comfy, electronically adjustable, actually very comfy. I like this, ergonomically really, really good. Then we have our dual screens up here. Kind of this tablet tacked on look, but not too bad because we got the sunshade here on top. So it looks a little more integrated, but we get nice screens. We got like 4 different themes we can select for our gauge cluster. All of them are really nice, but I prefer the one which is just kind of a little more simplistic, which shows you the sky and all that. I like that. And the infotainment itself, super fast, super responsive, just like you expected from a Hyundai Kia Genesis product. They're always really, really good with that, like extremely responsive. It looks super good. I like this LED neon kind of design they have. I think it looks awesome. Everything here is really good, except for 2 minor complaints I have. First of all, while it looks nice, our quick buttons for the infotainment are just capacitive touch buttons. So if you want to hit the radio, that's a button. So it's like a nope. That's a capacitive touch button. So when you're driving, you'd say you're driving on the highway and you want to switch maybe to like media for like USB, or you want to switch to the map, you have to use a capacitive touch button, and it isn't really that easy to find. So you will have to take your eyes off the road to look down there. Not ideal, not the worst thing ever. It is a decently integrated still, but I would have preferred if that would have been just physical buttons. The HVAC controls are digital and capacitive touch as well, but it works on those because you don't really use them that often. Just like the map, radio, and all those quick buttons, would have preferred if they would have been physical. Then the other minor complaint I do have is that our phone charger, we have a wireless phone charger, which is nice, but this is an S21 Plus. That's a 2021 phone, right? And it's not the biggest one out there. There's always one. There's one step up, and I think you can fit like the Ultra and maybe the iPhone 13 Pro Max Ultra RGB, whatever they call them now. But 2023 on, 2022 phones on, the biggest ones might be a little tough. So that should have been a little bigger. But most phones will fit just fine. And no, it is really nice. Oh, also these seats are heated and cooled as well. I really like this. We've already taken a look at the second row. Just quickly for those, we have USB slots just inside the backrest of our front seats, so you have them ready at all times for your second row passengers. But of course, if you buy a minivan, you want to know more about the third row, so let's go and hop on into that. So how do you get into the third row? Depending on which kind of version of the Carnival you have, it's a little different. These seats here in the SX cannot be removed, but if you have the third row seats, you can technically remove all the seats. Although of course that would be a bit of an overblown effort for accessing the third row. But the easiest way I found for this one is you have two levers on the bottom. One is forward and backwards movement, pretty straightforward, literally. Let's do it all the way up front because that's still actually comfortable for me if I were sitting here. But the second one moves the seat left and right. So if we just move it outwards, what I've also done on the other side already, we can simply just walk through the gap in the middle and easily access the third row. And once we're back here, of course, want to put up the headrest. We see that it's, even for an adult at 5'7", it's actually pretty comfortable. You could move the seat backwards a little bit if you would need to, but this is kind of like the 6 adult configuration, right? Or technically 7. We've got plenty of storage here. We got cup holders and we got like more cubbies. We have a USB slot. Just like in the second row, we have, even for a tiny window back here, sunshades, which is nice. We got AC, we got lights. We have a good view out of the second row sunroof. And overall, it is pretty good. My knees aren't too high, so it should still be comfortable for quite a while in here. And no, this is good. This is good. You can easily haul adults in here if you need to. And if you often take kids to soccer practice or whatever, this will be more than plenty for 5 kids here in the back. But just one last thing before we get driving is we want to take a look at the trunk and then we'll go driving. Ha! I bet you didn't expect me down here. We have so much storage here in the back. I shall demonstrate by climbing out. First of all, I can kind of stand in here. So behind the third row, we get 40.2 cubic feet of space. Now if we shrink down the second row, the third row, sorry, pretty easy. Just pull it, push it, pull it, and push it. We have 86.9 cubic feet, and then total we can get up to 145.1 cubic feet depending on the configuration. That's more space than a Tahoe has, just so you know. Minivans are super practical. Okay, but with that, let's go driving. Okay, now on the road here in the 2022 Kia Carnival SX, and as always, we're going to start off with a little launch. Traction control off, stability control off, and put her into sport mode. Let's see how it is. I know it's a minivan, but we always test this, and it's fun. Let's do it. Brake torquer, 2,000 RPM. Okay, woo! 60, 70, and decent power. So, it started raining. That's why we lost grip. I'll be honest, I had to do 2 takes. This is my second take because the first take I forgot to record the audio. That was a little unfortunate. Professional, I know, but it didn't rain then, and I was able to get a much better launch. But it's not, the road isn't wet really, it's just, you know, a little moist here and there. But anyhow, quite a bit of wheel spin. But it's a minivan, whatever. It's not meant to that. So we have a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6, producing 290 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque, and that is sent through an 8-speed automatic to your front wheels. We don't have all-wheel drive available in the Carnival simply because if we had a drive shaft running from the front to the back, we would significantly compromise interior space for the second and third row passengers, specifically the footroom and the foot space. So I totally get it, and as long as you have good winter tires on here, you should be fine just using bold move. You should be fine with front wheel drive. But power itself, we got plenty of power, like 290 horsepower, 62 pound-feet of torque. You really don't need more in a minivan. Cars these days, general, as long as you don't go for like super base model, all the time have enough power. Like there was only one car where I ever complained about it not being as quick as I would like to, but the days of underpowered cars is over, which is really nice. But yeah, no, there's plenty of power in the 8-speed. Shifts very smoothly, very quickly, reacts to what you're doing very quickly and very nicely. We can shift ourselves if we want to. So we're in 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Okay, but I want the transmission to test itself. So it's 50 kilometers an hour, as always with Florida, and see how quick it reacts. Quick downshift, torque steer. And it reacts really quickly. And we're already down or up in the gears again. It is very quick to react. Whatever we do, we want power, it gives us the power. We don't need the power anymore, and it instantly stops giving us the power and upshifts again. So it's nice, quiet, and fuel efficient. I like the transmission and I like the drivetrain a lot in this. And you notice there was a lot of torque steer that was also during the launch, because it is only a front wheel drive car. And if you don't know what torque steer is, quick lesson with Eric here of torque steer explanation. So our engine sits sideways basically, right, in the engine bay in this car, and that means, because then the transmission is on one side, the drive shafts going to the individual wheels are unequal in length, and that means the amount of force necessary to spin them isn't equal. And naturally, if we don't have a limited slip differential or anything, the power and force will go wherever to the path of least resistance, which in this case, obviously, is the shorter drive shaft, and it goes to one wheel more dominantly than to another one. That means the one wheel gets more power, that means that wheel will spin more, and that means, exactly because one wheel spins faster than the other, it's going to steer. So that's torque steer. Because you're applying power and it's unequal, it'll steer to the side, you have to correct it a little. This does it a lot. It's a minivan. I don't care. What I do care about, though, is ride quality. This is the road we always test ride quality on, because it's absolutely atrocious. Not necessarily this part. This is bad, but we just rode over the worst part of it. And it is really nice. It is very comfy. The suspension does a great job of isolating the passengers in the cabin from imperfections on the road. You don't feel the vibrations. You hear some of the vibrations, but you really don't get thrown around, and it's like, these are some nasty roads right here, and I am supremely comfortable. It is very nice. Of course, if you were to try to drive in a sporty manner, for whatever reason you would do that, you would notice that that's where they compromised, but it's a minivan, I don't care. I'll just keep saying that if I have to. But no, it's very nice and comfy to drive, and that kind of translates to the whole driving experience, because noise, vibration, and harshness is also really good. It's very quiet here in this Carnival. So even if we're on the highway driving at like 100 kilometers an hour, there's not much noise being transferred to the cabin. There's not much wind noise. You feel very nice and isolated. You have an easy time talking to your passengers or listening to music. And even if you have trouble talking to your third row passengers, there's passenger talk, passenger talk, and with that you can get your voice transferred or transmitted through the speakers so they can hear you easily. Really well thought out for families and people that have like a whole lot of people in the back, and it's just comfy, and it's a car that is meant to be nice and comfortable, easy to drive, and that is that. The suspension is good, low noise, the drivetrain is really nice, and on top of that, the steering is ridiculously quick. I shall demonstrate. 2 fingers. ridiculously easy. I could do it with one, but with one it would just be a little too exhausting. It's not quite a Rolls-Royce, but the steering is so nice, so little effort required to like maneuver this vehicle around, especially in cities. It's just very, very comfortable to drive at all times. And I know I hate that too. With Hyundai Kia Genesis vehicles, I keep saying good stuff all the time because they're so good right now. They're really on a roll with like good product. So I always like, you know, I'm normally very nitpicky, but I just don't have stuff to nitpick around, which is good. But like also, trust me, it's actually just a really good product. I just don't have much to nitpick. I do have one thing, and that leads over to tech. So we have reverse cameras, we have plenty of cameras for parking. They're really good, high quality, good refresh rate. Just one little nitpick is when let's say you want to park into a parking spot, you put into reverse, and then you want to see your wheels, so you go to the cameras, which has like both rear wheels. So you reverse a little, then you got to go forward, you put into drive, you select once again the wheel camera, so you have both front wheels, and then you drive forward, and now you want to go back into reverse, and you'd like to keep seeing your wheels, but it automatically defaults to the standard view, so to the standard reverse camera. So if you want to see your wheels and you kind of want to go close to a curb, you keep having to select the wheel camera manually each time you shift between drive and reverse. That is a little annoying. It could be a little better, but it's not much of an inconvenience really. It's just a nitpick to nitpick. And yeah, other than that, tech is really good. Tech is really good because this is a Hyundai Kia Genesis product. That means we have our highway driving assist, and the really, now it's starting to pour here. Gee, oh, I'm not looking forward to doing the final thoughts. Oh, I'm going to be so wet. And I hope you can. There. I hope that makes me a little red. But I was saying, right, we have the highway driving assist and the lane and the lane centering assist, which are just really good. The highway driving assist, what does it do? It's essentially very good adaptive cruise control that automatically adjusts your speed to the speed limit. So let's say you're driving 100 kilometers an hour on the highway, then the speed limit goes down to 80, and it would automatically go to 80. Of course, you can still override that to go to 79. Of course, yeah, that's why you would do that, to go to 79. But you can still override that. But it's very nice to just automatically adapt that. But way better feature that's way more important to me, and I always love, is the lane centering, because it's such a good lane centering system that for most of the times, 9 out of 10 times, or like 9 out of 10 minutes, it essentially steers for itself. If you do lane keep assist, it kind of like, especially in like very slow traffic, I feel like in traffic jam, it kind of drives itself. It's not an autonomous system. You have to be in control all the time. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Be ready to intervene. It's an assist, but it's a damn good assist and one of the best ones in the market. And if I would have two cars that are, you know, kind of equal in terms of comparison, cost maybe roughly the same, but let's say product B is a little bit, like a tiny little better in some aspects, but product A is a car that has this lane centering assist, I'm picking product A because it's such a great feature. I use it all the time. If you commute a lot or often go long distances, you'll learn to love this feature. Lastly, I don't know if you saw it already, otherwise I'll just give you B-roll footage. As soon as I put on the indicators, one of our bubbles, depending on if we turn left, it's the speedometer, if we turn right, it's the tachometer, turns into a blind spot camera that has everything from the back of the camera to the car up to the B pillar. So our entire blind spot is covered by the camera. So all you need to do is, if you want to turn, well, of course you check first, but turn on the indicators, check that nobody's on your right. While you do that, you can do a quick peek into the mirror just to make sure. And you look in here, and everything's there. Everything there. It is such a good feature. It's like more cars have it, and I love that it's kind of spreading in the automotive industry, but just a note. Anyhow, that's all I wanted to mention in terms of driving the Kia Carnival. Really much like it, but let's send it off to the final thoughts, and I can get out wet in the rain. Okay, final thoughts on the 2022 Kia Carnival SX in beautiful Canadian weather. Isn't it lovely? Anyhow, let's talk Kia Carnival. Let's just make it quick because it's actually pretty cold. It looks good. I think it looks really good. The interior is really nice, and the lounge seats are just amazing. The tech is good. It drives very nicely. just like all the Kia products lately, this is a fantastic product. And I really enjoyed my week. Really, my only regret in the 1 week I've had with it is that I didn't get to ride in it while using the lounge seats. I would have loved to be in it. Heated seats, laying flat, long drive. Must be amazing. Your kids will absolutely love you if you buy this vehicle because it's just so comfy. But what's the price of it? Well, as priced here, as spec'd, top trim, it's $50,495 Canadian. That's of course quite a bit of money, but if you want to save a little money, you can cut some features by going for a lower trim level. Oh yeah, wind, thank you. Oh yeah, because it wasn't cold enough, thank you. But no, you can save a little money by just going for a lower trim level, and you won't lose anything too important. And quite frankly, for the capabilities you get in terms of like a people hauler, like all the tech features and how much space you have, to have anything comparable in the non-minivan form, I know Kia, sorry, it's a minivan, you would need to go for like a Tahoe, and that'd be like 20 grand more. Yes, it could haul more, it could tow more and all that, but these are meant to offer you great value and a lot of capabilities for hauling people, and that's what it does with almost perfection. Kia can call it an LUV all they want, a life utility vehicle, apparently. I know it's marketing and I know it works, but it's a minivan and there's nothing wrong with it because it's amazing at being a minivan. Anyhow guys, thank you so much for watching. I really like this car, so I hope you like the video as well. And yeah, it's as much as it's fun for me to make the videos, I'm pretty miserable right now. So if you like the video, subscribe, hit the bell and like the video so that it pays off for me. That'd be nice, because sometimes it's often fun, but sometimes it's a little miserable to do these videos. So I hope it wasn't for nothing. Anyhow, we upload videos and reviews every single week. Somewhere around the weekend, we got everything from budget cars to sports cars to luxury cars to life utility vehicles. And we also upload 3 POV drives with every single vehicle that we have, where we test stuff like the handling, the adaptive cruise control, headlights, and acceleration, and everything pretty much. So make sure to check that out, because we also have it for the Kia Carnival. Anyhow guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.